Ladies, have you ever wondered what makes a man willing to risk everything? His heart, his pride, even his comfort, just to be with one woman. It's not about beauty, status, or charm. It's about something deeper, something that speaks directly to his soul. You see, every man has an invisible switch inside him, a trigger that makes him see a woman not just as someone he likes, but as someone he cannot live without. It's not about playing games, pretending to be someone you're not, or trying too hard to impress. It's about understanding the silent language of emotional connection, the energy you carry, and the confidence you radiate without saying a word. When you know how to tap into that energy, you don't chase men. They're drawn to you naturally. They'll risk their time, their emotions, and even their fears just to be close to you. Why? Because you awaken something in them that no one else does. It's not about being perfect. It's about being authentic. A woman who knows her worth doesn't beg for attention. Her presence alone demands it. She inspires loyalty, respect, and deep emotional attachment without even trying too hard. In today's video, I'm going to share exactly what that secret is. The one thing you can do to make any man feel an unstoppable urge to be with you, to fight for you, and to cherish you like never before. This isn't just advice. It's a shift in how you see yourself and how you show up in your relationships. So stay with me until the end. You don't want to miss this. Your love life is about to change in ways you never imagined. A man will fight for what he deeply respects and fears losing. If he doesn't see you as irreplaceable, he won't invest fully in you. This is one of the most profound truths about relationships that many fail to understand. A man's commitment is never about convenience. It is about conviction. It is about what he perceives as valuable and what he believes is worth his time, effort, and sacrifices. Men are natural problem solvers, warriors at heart. When they truly want something, they go after it with determination, persistence, and everything they have. But they do not fight for what they do not truly value. They do not risk everything for something that seems ordinary, replaceable, or easily found elsewhere. The reality is, no matter how much love a woman may feel for a man, no matter how deeply she desires his attention or commitment, if he does not see her as rare and extraordinary, he will never put in the effort to keep her. Think about the things people cherish the most: precious gems, rare art, treasures that are one of a kind. They protect them, they guard them, and they go to great lengths to ensure they are never lost. The same principle applies in relationships. When a man sees a woman as truly special, as someone he cannot afford to lose, he will naturally invest in her. He will fight for her. He will do things he never thought he was capable of because the idea of losing her is unbearable. But the problem arises when a woman does not recognize her own value. When she believes she has to prove herself, when she chases a man, or when she lowers her standards just to keep him interested, she unknowingly diminishes her own worth in his eyes. What is easily available is never deeply appreciated. What does not require effort to attain is often taken for granted. A man will not risk everything for a woman who gives too much without requiring anything in return. Women who are highly valued by men have one thing in common: they do not seek validation. They do not beg for love, attention, or commitment. They simply are. They stand in their power, confident in who they are, knowing that their presence is a privilege, not a convenience. And that confidence, that unwavering sense of self-worth, is what makes a man take notice. It is what makes him realize that she is unlike anyone else. A man who deeply values a woman does not take her love for granted. He does not make her question her place in his life. He does not keep her waiting, wondering, or doubting. Instead, he steps up. He puts in the effort. He makes her feel safe, cherished, and prioritized. But he only does this when he perceives her as someone he cannot replace, when he believes she is one of a kind, someone he would regret losing for the rest of his life. This is why desperation never attracts true commitment. When a woman operates from a place of lack, from a place of needing a man to choose her, she inadvertently pushes him away. Men are not drawn to neediness. They are drawn to strength. They are drawn to a woman who knows she is worthy of love, respect, and devotion without having to ask for it. A man will always risk everything for a woman when he sees that she is not just another option but the only one, when he believes she adds value to his life in ways no one else can. When he knows that being with her is not just a choice but a necessity for his happiness, that kind of woman does not have to convince a man to love her. He chooses to with every fiber of his being. The truth is, love is not about forcing someone to see your worth. It is about embodying that worth so clearly that the right man cannot ignore it. And when he recognizes it, when he understands that losing you would be the greatest mistake of his life, he will move mountains, he will fight battles, he will risk everything to make sure you remain in his life, not because you asked him to, but because he simply cannot imagine a life without you. A woman's self-respect determines how a man treats her. This is one of the most powerful, yet often overlooked truths in relationships. A man does not decide how he will treat a woman based on how much he likes her, how attracted he is to her, or even how much she does for him. Instead, he responds to the standards she sets for herself. He takes cues from how she carries herself, how she allows herself to be treated, and how firmly she stands in her worth. When a woman respects herself, it radiates in everything she does. It's in the way she speaks, the way she walks, and the way she interacts with the world. She does not beg for love. She does not tolerate disrespect. She does not settle for crumbs and call it a feast. A man sees this and instinctively understands that she is not a woman who can be played with, taken for granted, or mistreated. He knows that if he wants to be in her life, he has to show up fully, because anything less than that simply won't be accepted. But when a woman lacks self-respect, she unknowingly gives a man permission to mistreat her. She allows late replies, broken promises, half-hearted efforts, and inconsistent behavior. Behavior like this, making excuses for his actions, justifying his disrespect, and lowering her standards to keep him around, only harms her in the long run. A man sees this, and instead of appreciating it, he loses respect for her. Why? Because if she doesn't respect herself enough to demand better, why should he? If she tolerates being treated as an afterthought, he will never see her as a priority. Men do not value what is easily accessible. They do not chase what does not require effort. A woman who constantly overgives, overcompromises, and sacrifices her own needs in the hopes that a man will appreciate her is setting herself up for disappointment. Love is not earned by proving how much you can endure. It is not won through suffering. A woman who respects herself understands that she does not have to prove anything to anyone. Her value is not in what she gives, but in who she is. The way a woman carries herself sets the tone for how she will be treated. If she walks with confidence, speaks with certainty, and refuses to settle for less than she deserves, a man has two choices: step up or step out. There is no middle ground. A man who truly values her will meet her at the level of respect she demands. A man who does not will leave, and that is not a loss, it is a blessing. The right man will never make a woman compromise her dignity for his attention. A woman with self-respect does not fear being alone. She does not chase after a man who is not making an effort. She does not cling to a relationship that is not fulfilling her. She understands that being alone with her dignity intact is far better than being with someone who does not appreciate her worth. This is what makes a man view her as rare and extraordinary. This is what makes him respect her, cherish her and never want to lose her. Respect is not something you ask for, it is something you embody. It is in the way you respond to disrespect, the way you set boundaries, and the way you carry yourself, even when no one is watching. When a man sees that a woman has unshakable self-respect, he knows he cannot manipulate her. He cannot play games with her. He cannot get away with giving her anything less than his best. And here's the most important truth. The man who is right for you will never require you to lower your standards to be with him. The man who truly values you will never ask you to sacrifice your self-respect just to keep his attention. A man who is worthy of you will naturally rise to meet you at the level you deserve. A woman who respects herself does not attract weak men. She attracts men who see her as a prize, as a woman worth the effort, as someone they cannot afford to lose. So, if you ever find yourself questioning why a man is treating you a certain way, look at what you are allowing. Look at what you are tolerating. Look at the standard you have set for yourself. Because the truth is this: a man will only treat you at the level you allow. And the moment you raise your standards, you will see that the wrong men will disappear, and the right man, the one who truly values you, will rise to meet you where you stand. When we think about relationships, one of the most powerful dynamics is the bond between a man and a woman, especially in the context of deep, emotional connection and the profound influence a woman can have on a man. The statement, "The right woman makes a man willingly risk everything," captures a truth that resonates across time, cultures, and personal experiences. This is not just about romantic love. It's about the kind of woman who inspires a man to become his best self and challenges him to take leaps of faith that he might never have considered before. It reflects how love and respect in a relationship can push someone to embrace risks and uncertainties for the sake of a higher purpose or a shared future. At the heart of this concept is the idea of attraction. It's not just about physical beauty or external appeal, but something much deeper: emotional, intellectual, and spiritual resonance. The right woman possesses qualities that a man admires and respects. These qualities might range from intelligence, kindness, and emotional maturity to independence and strength. She doesn't just stand by him, rather, she challenges him to think differently, see the world through a new lens, and in doing so, elevate himself. Her presence in his life is not one of dependency, but one of mutual growth and empowerment. The right woman taps into the deep reservoirs of a man's emotions. She connects with him in ways no one else can, not by manipulating him or making him feel inadequate, but by making him feel understood, valued, and seen. There's something incredibly powerful about knowing that someone has faith in your potential. For many men, a woman's belief in them can be a pivotal force that drives them to take risks they otherwise wouldn't consider. They might pursue a career change, move to a new city, or take a financial leap, all because they feel a sense of purpose and encouragement from her. When a man is in the presence of the right woman, he often feels a sense of responsibility to step up and become the best version of himself. He is motivated not only by the desire to meet her needs, but also by the realization that she sees something in him that is worth believing in. This is why love can be such a transformative force. It pushes people out of their comfort zones. When a man knows that the woman he loves believes in him deeply, she inspires him to improve, not out of fear, but out of admiration and a desire to live up to her expectations. Not because she demands it, but because he wants to prove he is worthy of her. The idea of willingly risking everything doesn't always have to mean dramatic or physical risk. Sometimes it's about emotional vulnerability. A man might be willing to expose his deepest fears, desires, and insecurities to the right woman because he feels safe with her. He knows she will support him, not judge him. He might take the risk of fully opening his heart, something that could lead to both joy and potential heartache. This willingness to risk vulnerability comes from the trust that the right woman creates in him, the trust that she won't hurt him or use his openness against him. The risk is not reckless. It's calculated and rooted in deep trust and respect. There's also the element of ambition. The right woman ignites a man's drive and fuels his dreams. She doesn't just sit back and let him go after his goals alone. She is there cheering him on, offering perspective, and sometimes even guidance. A man might take a risk in his career, start a new business, or go after a promotion because he knows she is by his side. The right woman helps him see possibilities where he once saw obstacles. With her encouragement and belief, he can face the fears and insecurities that often hold him back from taking significant risks. Moreover, when a man loves the right woman, he is more willing to make sacrifices. He might put his own desires on hold or give up something of personal value because he knows that in doing so, they are working toward a shared future. He is not coerced into these decisions. He does them willingly because he feels the relationship is worth it. The right woman in this case is someone with whom he can build something lasting, whether it's a family, a business, or a lifelong partnership. The risks he takes are no longer just about him, they are about both of them. He's willing to make those sacrifices because he understands that their future together is worth it. Ultimately, the essence of this idea is that love, when it is genuine and mutual, has the power to transform. It brings out the best in people and makes them willing to take bold steps, embrace challenges, and pursue their dreams with a renewed sense of passion and commitment. The right woman, simply by being herself, inspires a man to rise above his limitations and achieve more than he ever thought possible. This isn't about reckless behavior or making impulsive decisions. It's about being with someone who helps you become the person you are meant to be, and in doing so, shows that the risks are worth taking, not because they are easy, but because they are for something greater. Men are naturally drawn to women who inspire them, rather than just those who merely please them. This is because true attraction goes beyond superficial qualities and taps into the deeper emotional and intellectual connections that create lasting relationships. While physical beauty and charm can initially capture a man's attention, it is the ability to inspire him that keeps him truly engaged and committed. Challenge and motivate a man, and she becomes someone he values on a much deeper level. Inspiration comes from many sources, and a woman who has a strong sense of self, purpose, and a unique perspective on life can captivate a man far more than someone who only seeks to please him. A woman who has her own passions, ambitions, and personal growth journey creates an aura of magnetism that is difficult to resist. Men are naturally drawn to people who challenge them to be better versions of themselves. When a woman has an independent mindset and a sense of direction in life, she encourages the man to elevate his own ambitions and aspirations. A relationship built on inspiration fosters mutual respect and admiration. When a man sees a woman who is dedicated to her goals and has the courage to pursue them, he respects her for her strength, determination, and resilience. This respect goes beyond physical attraction and creates an emotional bond that is much deeper. Men appreciate women who bring value into their lives, not just through affection and care, but also by stimulating their minds and pushing them to grow in various aspects of life. Many women mistakenly believe that pleasing a man is the key to keeping him interested. They may focus solely on accommodating his desires, always agreeing with him or putting his needs above their own at all times. While kindness and consideration are important in a relationship, constantly prioritizing a man's happiness at the expense of personal growth can make the relationship one-sided. A woman who is too focused on pleasing a man may lose her own sense of identity, making the relationship less fulfilling for both partners in the long run. When a woman inspires a man, she encourages him to chase his dreams, face his fears, and step outside his comfort zone. She becomes a source of strength and motivation in his life, rather than just a passive presence. Inspiration often comes from qualities like confidence, intelligence, and emotional depth. A woman who is unafraid to express her opinions, challenge ideas, and engage in meaningful conversations keeps a man intellectually stimulated. He begins to see her as a partner in growth, rather than just someone who provides temporary happiness. Another key element of inspiration is emotional depth. A woman who understands herself, expresses her emotions authentically, and navigates life with grace and wisdom creates a strong emotional connection with a man. Men value women who can handle challenges with resilience and maintain a positive outlook even during difficult times. This kind of emotional strength is inspiring because it shows that the woman is not dependent on external validation, but instead has an inner source of strength and fulfillment. In contrast, when a woman's primary focus is on pleasing a man without adding value to his life, the relationship may eventually feel stagnant. A man may appreciate the efforts of a woman who caters to his needs, but without an element of inspiration, the connection may lack depth over time. Relationships that lack intellectual and emotional stimulation can become predictable and uninspiring. Men naturally crave excitement, growth, and the feeling of being challenged in a positive way. If a woman can provide this, she becomes irreplaceable in his life. Moreover, self-respect plays a crucial role in how relationships evolve and thrive. A woman inspires a man when she values herself, sets boundaries, and demands respect, naturally commanding admiration. Men are drawn to women who have standards because it signals confidence and self-worth. A woman who knows her worth and does not settle for less encourages a man to rise to her level, rather than expecting her to lower her standards for him. This dynamic creates a healthy balance in the relationship, where both partners strive to bring out the best in each other. Authenticity is another powerful trait that inspires men. A woman who is true to herself and does not pretend to be someone she is not exudes a natural charm. She does not seek approval or validation from others because she is secure in who she is. This kind of self-assurance is magnetic. When a woman is confident in her uniqueness, she encourages a man to embrace his own individuality and be his authentic self as well. This mutual authenticity creates a strong emotional bond that goes beyond physical attraction. A woman's ability to inspire a man also comes from her ability to nurture but not enable. There is a difference between supporting a man and enabling behaviors that prevent growth. A woman who truly inspires does not simply accept mediocrity or make excuses for a man's shortcomings. Instead, she encourages him to strive for greatness and hold himself accountable for his actions. She is supportive yet firm, understanding yet challenging. This balance fosters a relationship dynamic where both partners are continuously evolving and improving. Attraction that is built on inspiration has longevity. While physical attraction can fade over time, emotional and intellectual stimulation keep a relationship alive. Men remember and cherish the women who made a significant impact on their lives, not just in moments of pleasure, but in moments of transformation. A woman who inspires a man leaves a lasting imprint on his heart and mind because she has contributed to his personal growth and self-discovery. In the end, men are drawn to women who bring meaning and substance into their lives. While pleasing a man may create temporary happiness, inspiring him fosters a connection that is deep, meaningful, and enduring. A woman who embraces her own journey, challenges a man to be his best self, and offers emotional depth will always hold a special place in his heart. This is the kind of attraction that stands the test of time and creates relationships that are fulfilling and lasting.